Welcome, victims, to the newest episode of the Before It Was Cool podcast. We have spooky Shaky J and Tom on terrible treads. Yeah, I'm over that now. Hey Tom.
I'm gonna put a little horror element under that, like a little scream.
So, as you could tell by my to be honest, quite fantastic and very well thought out of all 10 seconds intro. We are talking horror because it is Halloween at the moment. It hasn't it's not a couple of days afterwards because of us having prior commitments, but we are definitely recording on the Sunday of Halloween.
Yeah, it's definitely Halloween.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
definitely October 31st.
And anyone who says otherwise has no proof and just doesn't love us enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. We wouldn't lie to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever you are.
Yeah.
Hey, Damo.
So yeah.
Oh god.
We're predominantly going to be talking horror for this one, just trying to keep with the theme of the time of year. Mainly I was thinking the first horror movie that ever scared us. Top 3 horror movies. Favorite villain.
Horror movies they gave us nightmares.
Well, see, that kind of comes into the first one that scared us, but yeah, we can talk that too as part of all that.
Yeah, kind of. Because I've got 2 different answers.
And the horror movie they feel is the most overrated.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh, and the best classic horror movie and the best middle horror movie and the best modern horror movie. I consider classic from the 30s to the 70s to maybe 2010 and 2010 to now.
Okay, sounds good. Anyway, cue the music.
And I hope you enjoyed that specialized music there. I definitely made a theme already, and it's definitely going in, and it's definitely Halloween themed. It wasn't thought of a few minutes ago when we were talking before the episode. Yeah, I swear.
Jay didn't have a creative epiphany when we were talking about an idea for it all and just went with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go with horror movies from each era. So you said up until the 70s for your first one.
Yeah, from the invention of film up until the 70s, and that counts out the zombie craze that came in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, your Dawn of the Dead.
The zombie craze yeah, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, all those. The Ramirez movies, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, I've got to quickly double check some dates for this, but you talk about yours, and I'll ignore you.
In that era, you've got all the Universal monsters, like the classic Frankenstein, the classic Mummy, the classic Invisible Man, Dracula, all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Christopher Lee's Dracula.
No, Christopher Lee's Dracula wasn't the first of the Universals. It came out with Hammer.
Oh, I know it wasn't the first. I definitely know that. But it came out in that era, didn't it? Late in that era.
No, so there was the first era of it, which was the Universal monster era, where they had control of the horror.
Yeah,
and that was
there were 2. There was Nosferatu, and then there was Count Dracula.
Yeah,
Nosferatu is the silent film.
Count Dracula is but the wasn't able to be Dracula, and it's
yeah.
But
and it's a really gnarly looking one.
That was the first one, and then later on came the Hammer films, which was Christopher Lee's Dracula. The first Dracula's, the 3 main monster performers were Lon Chaney Jr. This is talking the what's his name? The Universal monsters. There was Lon Chaney Jr., who was the Wolfman. There was Bela Lugosi,
who was.
I'm just double checking.
He was Frankenstein.
No, he was Dracula.
Dracula.
Um,
Of course, he worked with Ed Wood.
yeah. So that was Bela Lugosi, and then there was Boris Karloff, who was
Who was Dracula?
yeah,
I mean, Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, yeah. And like there was a lot of crossover between them. Like I think one of them was also like the Eagle played the Eagle character at one point. Like there's a lot of crossover in there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I'm
those
not
three are
talking
the big
about
ones.
that era, like, because that was the first era of the Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
That
Then
was,
after that, it
and
was
then
the
there
Hammer
was
films, which was
a
Christopher Lee
second
and Peter.
coming.
Yeah, the second coming was the Hammer films. So that wasn't by
Yeah.
Universal, but that was Peter
But
Cushing.
what year was that?
What year was that? I think that was probably the 60s. Let me check.
So it was in that era.
It's still part of that all that era, yeah. But they're still not considered the same part. 58 was Peter Cushing in Dracula, which with Christopher
Yep.
Lee. Peter Cushing as Van Helsing and
Okay.
Dracula played by there. And then Peter Cushing moved away from being Van Helsing and played Dr. Frankenstein quite a few times.
Yeah.
And if I'm
It's
correct,
funny, in one of the early Frankensteins, the guy who plays Frankenstein monster is actually the guy who plays Darth Vader.
it wouldn't be
That's
that
where he
early
made his name in monster films.
because the
Like
early
the guy
Frankensteins
in the
were
actual.
all the early Frankensteins were all Lugosi.
Yeah,
No, not Lugosi.
Boris
Boris
Karloff.
Karloff, and then later on Christopher Lee was Dracula. Was Frankenstein.
Yeah, I'm talking about after that.
Okay,
It's still in the 60s, but there was a group of films made after that.
okay.
And that's where George Lucas discovered him. He's a 6.5 foot, close to 7 foot dude that filled out the black suit and just made Darth Vader look really intimidating. Problem was that he had a Cockney British accent.
I thought he was Welsh.
Yeah, British. So like the
Welsh is
British
a bit.
Isles.
Oh no, he's English. Sorry. Um. So yeah, he was. Yeah.
But
So I'm
yeah,
looking
he
it up.
didn't
Yeah.
have the
So.
voice of Darth Vader.
Oh
And
no.
he didn't know that he got replaced by James Earl Jones till the premiere. He's like, that's not my voice. What the fuck's going on here?
Okay, so he was the creation in the horror of Frankenstein in 1970.
Yeah.
He was also in A Clockwork Orange, bit of Doctor Who, Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, Star Wars, obviously. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, David Prowse doing the body. Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So
anyway, back to the original subject. From that era, I would have to say probably Nosferatu. I love that movie. I've seen it because it doesn't go for very long, but I've seen
oh
it
no.
probably 100 times. And it's a silent film, so I can just have it on.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It was such an iconic movie for horror. Like there was only, I think, two movies that came before it when it came to horror. One being the Closet of Dr. Caligari, and then there's another older version of Frankenstein apparently.
Yeah.
But,
I've never seen those two.
yeah.
I just knew Nosferatu.
And then a
The
little, yeah,
guy who
Nosferatu was
plays
iconic.
Dracula just looks gnarly.
Oh yeah, the makeup that was done is amazing though. Apparently, if you actually watch it, it's a little bit anti-Semitic. Like it does play very, very
Oh,
heavily the
yeah.
stereotypes of the Jews, which is
It is. It's
yeah.
very anti-Semitic. Very anti-Semitic.
Hmm.
There's a reason why Nosferatu has a big nose.
Yeah.
And not a good reason.
Everyone loves a stereotype.
What would your choice be before we get sued?
Why we're not agreeing with it. We're just saying it's a good movie that had its issues. We're not going to get sued for that.
So, landmark movie.
For me,
I'll put it that way.
What I'd have to say is the 1933 King Kong.
See, I didn't even think of the kaiju pictures.
Well, like they're not horror by any means nowadays, but back then it was
Yeah.
a major thing, and the amount of techniques that they learnt after that period is so big, and it did so much for cinema. Like because like, I haven't watched a huge amount of the real classics, like the Universal Monsters, any of that sort of thing, other than what I've seen, like just clips of. But
Yeah.
I have nothing but respect for them. Don't ever get me wrong. But King Kong just did so much. Like the filming techniques that they did for that movie, and it created a legacy that of like the Kong movies, which are still going today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll put King Kong up there. Um, for its time, it was horror. It wouldn't be considered horror now. It's more action adventure. But
Yeah.
because as everyone knows, horror gets desensitized over time. Like it changes. What's
Yeah.
scary
Now
back?
it's all jump scares.
It depends on the movie. There are some I have seen that have not been jump scares, and they have been really, really good.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, it's so much of it was dominated by jump scares, especially in the early like 2010 period. Your Paranormal Activities, your um, what's its name?
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch. Well, Blair Witch was
The
jump scare,
found footage.
found footage, and jump scares, and then the torture porn.
Yeah, oh yeah, Saw. Thank you, James Wan, you dickhead. I'm joking. I actually think he makes really good movies. But still.
But yeah, like they all had they kind of took over horror for that bit and took away some of the best things about horror, which was strong writing, suspense, and one positive, at least they still use a lot more practical effects. Like the Paranormal
Yeah.
Activity series was very practical, and early Saws were much more practical too.
Yeah.
That's talking up until the 70s, wasn't it? Okay. After the
In
70s,
1970. But I have to clarify something. Does that era include radio plays or just TV, just movies, I should say?
so you're thinking
So
War of the
radio
Worlds?
plays, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I would say
Because
no,
like
because
there
we are
was
talking
nothing
horror
like it.
movies. Horror movies kind of covers that. Like, otherwise, like, are we going
Yeah,
to also
true.
add in books? Because there are so many books that we can add in with at ease. And I mean,
True, true.
and that actually,
Especially in the next era.
you know what? One thing we'll talk about at the end of this is favorite Stephen King adaptation.
Ooh. Yeah,
Yeah, but we'll do that later.
it
We'll
could
do that
be
later.
hard.
So, for the 1970s to what did you say? The 2010s?
Yeah,
I have to pick a
1970
couple
to
here.
probably. Actually, we'll go 1970 to about 90, probably 2000.
Yeah, that still doesn't help me.
And then
Um,
2000 onwards.
okay, so I've got
Yeah,
three.
because I just plucked out the worst decade in horror history. In 2000 to 2010, there was like nothing good in that era.
It was pretty lacking. I'm not going to deny it. But
Yeah.
so what are your three? I have to pick three. Um,
See, it's really hard. I'm definitely not picking Friday the 13th. I'm sorry for all the people out there that want me to pick that, but it was
well,
a straight rip off of my number one choice, which is Halloween itself.
I still
It
haven't actually
started
seen
the
the original
slasher
Halloween.
craze.
It didn't actually start the
What?
slasher craze. There was something before it.
Sorry, it popularized the slasher craze.
There we go. Yeah, before that there was I think Black Christmas and Alice Sweet Alice, which were very much the first slashers. But yeah, Halloween
And then
made it.
Friday the 13th was literally, the writers have even gone on record saying this, that it was a direct rip off of Halloween.
Well, see,
Exactly the same, just
they wanted
based
to
in a
play up
different
to
location.
they wanted to play up the slasher sort of thing. But the thing is, the first one, when you think about it, like is at least a bit more of an original movie. Like with it being Mrs. Voorhees. Spoilers for anyone who doesn't know that one. Being Mrs. Voorhees being the killer, and then only revealing Jason in a little dream sort of thing, and then creating Jason as pretty much a rip-off Michael Myers.
Yeah. Although it was the very first movie that ever gave me a jump scare.
Yeah?
When Michael pops out of not Michael, Jason pops out of the water at the end.
Oh, yeah,
it made me jump and go, what the yeah, it scared
fantastic.
the living hell out of me. But first pick has to be Halloween.
Yep.
Because it popularized all this shit that we're talking about to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Second pick, I don't really like zombie movies because I think people that believe they're real fools. But second pick would have to be. I don't know.
you want me to go through my three and give you time to think?
Yeah, because I know what my number one pick will be. I just don't know what my number two will
Okay.
be.
So my three, and I'm including one of these, is definitely it's got so much horror. It's just made for a kid audience, and that's Gremlins.
Yeah,
Gremlins is an amazing movie. It's entertaining as hell. The creature effects are amazing. Like you show nearly anyone Gizmo, and tell them not to fall in love, and they'll still fall in love. The
because
puppetry.
Gremlins 1 is a horror movie, but Gremlins 2 is not.
Yeah, like Gremlins 2 is nowhere near as horror, but the thing is, they actually did it as a take the piss out of the whole thing. Like, they've even got Hulk Hogan in there threatening the Gremlins for ruining a movie.
Yeah, to
Like,
turn the movie back on.
yeah. So, so Gremlins is one of my favorite horror movies. Um, Number two would probably be Evil Dead 2.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about them.
um, Evil Dead 2 is great. I love it. Um, it was kind of a retelling of number one because they actually lost the rights to it. So they, like Sam
Yeah,
Raimi did. So yeah, he pretty much redid it, made it better, and number two is great. Like it's that good mix of horror and comedy without getting too stupid. Bruce Campbell's
yeah,
amazing. Um,
the
I will
chin.
I will sing his praises from the rooftops. I think he's great. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, but it's got some such iconic lines, great one lines. Um, the Deadites are awesome, and the makeup effects for that are great. And once again, talking similar to King Kong, the some of the techniques that Sam Raimi brought in, like the dolly and running along with it to make the thing seem like it's flying through, and some of the stuff they did was just really cool for filmmaking. And my number one horror movie, and people will be surprised because I'm not including Silence of the Lambs as a horror movie. As much as I love it, I will actually generally consider that a psychological thriller, which is very close, but I will not consider it a horror movie. Um,
oh, I might even argue with you on that one.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm happy to debate it. But I'll say my number one is The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
The
Fuck, I
Exorcist.
didn't even think about that.
The Exorcist is probably one of the best written movies there is out there, though. Like the effects they used in it were just simple but great. Reagan as the possessed girl and the lines they have are just deeply disturbing to this day. Um, it is just amazing. It's just a really good movie. We'll give special mentions to The Shining.
Yeah,
The Shining is an amazing
of
movie.
course.
Um, yeah, just The Shining. That's the only one I can think of for a special mention. I'm gonna.
I've got a few honorable mentions in
Mm.
this era, but yeah.
Oh, and
What was that, sorry?
I'll also put in as an honorable mention Child's Play and
Yeah,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
yeah. Alright. Mine. Do you know what the very first film to ever have someone have a heart attack and die in the cinema was?
No idea.
Because most people would say The Exorcist, because it did it 3 times. But it wasn't that. It was in 1933 at the Phantom of the Opera.
Okay. What the face reveal sort of moment?
Yeah, when the face revealed a mangled face gave someone a heart attack.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
And I don't imagine that medicine was that great for dealing with heart attacks at that point.
Yeah, the
Um,
person did not walk away from that one. But yeah, my number two, because I also forgot about. The problem is, I forgot about the Sam Raimi stuff, which actually made it harder because I was tossing up. Because you also had all the Wes Craven, all the John Carpenters, all
mhm.
the Stephen King adaptations, all the Sam Raimi stuff, all in that era. So it's really, really bloody
You
hard.
even had some Kubricks and some what's his name Hitchcock was probably around that era too. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, he finished his career. Even Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws was another one I was about to put as a honorable mention, as well as Poltergeist,
Yeah, he also had all them,
which was
all the
Spielberg.
good ones anyway. Yeah. You also had like Star Wars,
Yeah, but that's not horror.
the prequel. prequel trilogy was pretty horrific.
Yet they were horrible, but not horror.
So yeah, my number two would have to be, oh fuck, and you also got Aliens.
Oh,
An
I
Alien.
did forget about Alien and Predator.
Yeah. Oh, Predator was more action, whereas
Yeah,
Alien was more a horror movie in space.
yeah. Sorry, put Alien in as
Aliens
another
was more
honorable mention.
sci-fi.
Aliens was more action horror, whereas
Yeah,
Alien was
action
horror horror.
sci-fi
It was
horror.
great. And then we don't talk about the rest of the movies.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll actually probably put Alien at number two,
No, that's fair. Alien
and
is amazing.
my number one, purely because I love it, and he made it a studio on his own back, is Robert Englund's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Robert England's Damien West Craven's.
Yeah, yeah, but he played Freddy.
Yeah, he was just the performer. He didn't write it or direct it.
Yeah, but like they tried to do Freddy without him, and it was shit.
Oh yeah. Like
See, they could make a Freddy today now that Wes Craven's dead. As long as he's playing Freddy, it would be alright.
yeah. Oh well, like I don't even mind Jackie L. Healy as Freddy, but it was the rest of the stuff. Like it was poorly written other characters, bad makeup. Like it was trying.
Bad story.
Well, no, it was the same story, and that's the issue. Like if you're gonna do a remake, you
It
have to
wasn't
make it different
exactly
enough.
the same. They
They
added
recreated.
heaps more to it.
They did, but they recreated all these iconic moments, and that's gonna fail any remake because they're gonna be compared to the original way too often. Like they had
Yeah.
to do things that were different, but still paid a little bit of homage to the classic sort of thing. And yeah,
Like, there are remakes that tread that line and do it very well. But
well,
there are some remakes that don't
one of the
at
big
all.
examples that people talk about is the remake of Psycho, with Vince Vaughn as Norman Bates,
Yeah,
and
Gus Van Sant was the director.
it's a shot for shot remake, and it's just awful because it's
Yeah. Although I still have a very soft spot for that film.
you're gross. Um, um,
Not that fleas in it.
oh, see that.
Plus, Gus Van Sant did the cover art for Bloodshot Sex Magic.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Imagine
But
that
yeah,
imagine that cover was done by Geiger, the one who created like all the alien eggs and stuff.
what was that? Sorry.
Imagine the cover of Blood Sugar Sex Magic, but it was done by H.R. Geiger, the one who designed all the aliens stuff.
Yeah, just instead of their tongues creating like a wave around a rose, it would be face huggers just coming out of an egg in the center.
It'd be
All
very
four of
interesting
them.
to see. If you listen to this and you're able to draw that and show us, we'd be very intrigued to see that.
Yes.
Okay, so moving to the more modern era,
I've got a few honorable mentions before we move on.
Oh, yeah,
I
sorry,
want to
go.
give honorable mentions to Scream because it it wasn't original by any sense of the meaning, the any sense of the meaning of the word, but the way it advertised, and I was probably just old enough to know what advertising meant at the time, but the way it advertised that its final goal was going to be Drew Barrymore, and he
And then,
killed her off in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
yeah,
That was fucking brilliant. It hadn't been like that shock. Hasn't been done since.
yeah.
If you know what I mean, because like everything's already been done. And then I've got to give like a shout out to the.
Oh well, no,
thing.
just wait. I just got to quickly interrupt you. So, killing off the main character, what everyone believes was the main character early in the movie, that had been done before. That was done.
Yeah,
in Psycho.
but not to that extent.
Are you kidding?
But
Psycho.
not to that extent.
Everyone had
Yeah.
Psycho had advertised Janet Leigh as the starlet for the entire thing. She gets killed off early to the degree that if a theater wanted to show Psycho, they weren't allowed to let anyone in late, so it didn't break the twist.
Yeah, but that's also Hitchcock being Hitchcock. But what
was a
I
dick,
more
but he was
mean
an
is
artist.
like they paid at the arse to get Drew Barrymore on that movie. Like, she was going to be the star of the movie. They were pushing her like that she was the star of the movie, all this shit. Which
Mm.
they did in Psycho, but they did it on much less budget. If at the time, Janet Leigh was popular, but she was nowhere near the size of Drew Barrymore,
No, no,
if
no,
you
of
know what
course
I
not.
mean.
Drew
Whereas
Barrymore's one
Drew
of the
Barrymore
90s
was seen
crushes.
as this,
90s, 2000s
yeah, she
crush.
was seen as the final girl. She was gonna be
Mm.
the final girl. Which is funny because Janet Leigh wasn't a final girl, but her daughter introduced the concept of the final girl.
Yeah, and the Scream Queen being Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, exactly. That's where the Lee comes from. Everybody remembers that her father was Tony Curtis, but they
Mm.
forget her mother was Janet Leigh.
Yeah. So what are your other honorable mentions?
Yeah, The Thing by John Carpenter, the practical effects in that were just
Ah,
fucking phenomenal.
was that Harryhausen? I can't remember who did it, but yeah, amazing practical effects, like amazing puppetry, slight animatronics. It was just
Yeah.
juicy, gory
And
fun.
and uh, pretty much all of David Cronenberg's inventions during the
Yeah,
era. It
yeah,
was
David
so good.
Cronenberg. Sorry, not Harryhausen. Harryhausen was much earlier.
Yeah, but like he also did The Fly. He'd oh, fuck, what's it called? The one where he goes to put a VHS in his stomach. I can't remember the name of it right now. But also Ramirez, I can't pronounce his first name, so I'm not gonna be a racist white man and try.
No,
Um,
trying's usually okay. It's giving up and just saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna call him Bob." Um,
but I'm not even gonna give it a shot.
okay.
Sorry. It might be actually something simple like George.
Who are you
Yeah, it
thinking?
is. George Ramirez, the zombie craze
Yeah,
starter.
yeah, yeah. Let me check.
Is it
It's
George H?
I'll tell you in a few seconds. George A. Romero.
Yeah, Ramiro. Why am
You
I saying
see,
Ramirez?
you are a racist because you just said a generic Mexican sounding last name, assuming.
I can't even think right now. What? You've also got in the 90s like the not Dawn of the Dead. Uh,
Night of the Living Dead,
no, the one
Land of the
from
Dead, like all of the dead, the ones that kept going.
No, Robert Rodriguez with Quentin Tarantino
Oh,
and George
the
Clooney.
oh Dust Till Dawn.
Dust Till Dawn, that's what I'm thinking of. You got all them as well, and yeah, it's hard. Like I said earlier, that 30-year stretch there is just fucking phenomenal for horror movies.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, the modern era. Now, I haven't actually watched that much. I've only last couple of years really gotten into horror movies. So
Yeah,
so that's why I'm trying to hit up like the ones that everyone talks about in the like that era we were just talking, but I haven't been hitting up a lot of the newer ones that are around. But there's one that definitely stands out for me, like the one that I enjoyed the most, mainly because just the writing in it was so good. Um,
so
and that's the Babadook.
oh yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's solid. Like the writing in it is amazing. The acting in it from the two main characters is so good. Like the kid, the mother just being exhausted and being like it all being like an analogy for grief. Um, I rate the Babadook incredibly highly. Um, I haven't really watched a huge amount of other ones of late, sadly. But I am meaning to see things like Insidious, It Follows, Parasite. Um,
I
trying to think
haven't
some,
seen Parasite yet.
trying to think some of the other ones.
I
There's
wonder.
trying to think some of the other ones. Um, what are the ones done by?
From the
Is it Peel or Key? I can't remember.
That's Jordan Peele.
Yeah, I want to
Peele.
see his ones as well.
Yeah. I haven't seen Candyman yet. That
I've
was another one from the former era.
yeah,
But I haven't seen that yet. But Get Out is brilliant.
I've heard
And
very positive things.
Us, or is it Us, or
This is Us.
yeah,
Oh no, it's just Us, I think. But
yeah,
yeah, like there's also things like
Us is
Insidious.
pretty good.
I really want to see Insidious as well. There's
Yeah.
Hereditary, which is supposed to be
Oh, I
very very
fucking
good.
love that movie.
But
I
yeah,
love that movie so much.
I've got a lot of movies I need to watch, to be honest. But yeah, what about you? So what's your modern masterpiece, as it were?
Um, it's kind of slim pickings from this era. Like you've got iconic movies like Blair Witch Project from the
Well,
first year of this era,
re-
unless you include late 99 2000 as the previous era.
I'd
In the
consider it.
found footage, it kind of started it.
Well, it helped
You've
start
also
it.
got,
Like there were some other ones that were around before, but the Blair Witch is what really brought it to the fore.
I should like with Halloween, I should say popularized. Or not even really popularized because it didn't. Nothing happened until like 5 years, 6 years later. Oh no, it would have been longer than that. It would have been almost 10 years later when Paranormal Activity came out. And then
Mm.
found footage just went fucking nuts.
Yeah, well, Paranormal Activity and Cloverfield's the thing that really brought that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I would have to say Insidious, like, or the entire franchise.
Insidious?
Yeah,
Because what's part
they're
of all that
all
franchise?
what?
What's part of the Insidious franchise?
All the Insidious films.
I didn't know that. Like, see, I'm still. Oh, okay.
I
So
think
there's
maybe you're
chapter
thinking
two,
of the
chapter three.
Conjuring
No.
franchise.
I know what the Conjuring is. It's one I've actually watched. I had when you said franchise, I thought you were meaning like there was other like link things, like how Conjuring and Paranormal Activity have their separate things. But
No,
yeah,
no, there's
I
like
I
50 fucking Insidious films.
hmm.
Like, there isn't literally 50, but there's a lot of them.
um, what do you think? Do you like the sequels? Are they worth it or?
Yeah, they're all pretty good in their own right. I also left out the Conjuring universe, like
See,
the Annabelle films, all that stuff. The
I'd leave it out.
mainline
I'd leave it
Conjuring
out to be
films,
honest. Like the first.
that's why it's not getting there because of the sub films like Annabelle and all them. But like the mainline Conjuring films are pretty good.
Like I watched the first one. Like it was good and all, but it was just too jump scary. Like yes, there was a bit more storyline there, but like it was
Yeah,
like it was. I'll say it was better than Paranormal Activity, but
yeah,
I don't think it even like touches the boots of a lot of the other modern horror masterpieces that have been coming out.
yeah. True that, but yeah, like it gets let down so much by pretty much everything that followed it. I don't include Saw because in a way they weren't fucking scary; they were just funny
Well,
to me, anyway.
that's for me is similar when I'm watching Final Destination.
Yeah.
Like those movies just crack me up.
Although
Like
I'm
horror of
still deadly afraid to walk under a crane with glass on it,
really,
or
it's
drive behind a truck
yeah. I think
with
everyone's
logs
afraid
on
to
it.
drive behind a truck with logs on it. But yeah, like I've seen that meme go around Facebook so many times. It's great. Um, so
uh,
let's talk about the king of horror, pun intended. Stephen King. What's your favorite Stephen King adaptation? And I'm gonna say I'm only gonna
oh,
include his horror movie adaptations because he has
I was
done
gonna
what?
say,
Because there's what three movies that aren't horror movies, which being Shawshank, Stand by Me, and Green Mile.
and Dolores Claiborne.
I don't know that one.
It's starring Kathy Bates. It's pretty good actually.
Okay.
But
See,
there
like,
was a rumor that he didn't even write the dramatic novels. His wife did, but they got it penned under his name because he was more famous, all that shit, but that's a conspiracy theory. If you want conspiracy theories, go to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, get fucked.
But yeah, best adaptation just in movies, not TV.
I'll include TV. So if you want to bring in like what's his name, the Duck Tower series or the It TV movie, go for it.
Shit. I'm not gonna mention either of the It's simply because they didn't go as fucking insane as the book is.
Yeah, but
Not
there's a
the
reason
child
behind.
orgy scene, but the turtle. They didn't have the turtle at the end of either one.
That's the thing. The turtle was dead by the end of the book. But if you actually,
Yeah, but they didn't show him at all.
they did. They actually hinted to him a lot. If you
Yeah,
actually
but they didn't show him.
Yeah, they didn't show him. But if you watch the newer versions, there's a lot of references to the turtle, really subtle. If you go to there's a YouTube channel called CZ's World. He's just a
Yeah.
horror, he does a whole thing called Things You Missed. So it's like Easter eggs and stuff in horror movies, and the ones he does for It are really good, and they show a lot of the turtle that you don't even pick up on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's something to
But
check out.
yeah, I think I love The Mist.
Mist,
I
nice.
know it cops some flack, but I love The Mist. Salem's Lot is a classic, and so is Cujo. And Pet Cemetery, the original, not that shitty remake.
No, Carrie?
The Before It Was Called podcast is now on Patreon. There are 6 tiers to choose from, ranging from $1 to $100. $1 gets you just to help. $3 gets you a shout out in every episode, except for the episodes in the next tier. $10 gets you your choice. You choose the topic and I record a solo episode dedicated to you with no ads or other Patreon shout outs. $15 is Produce It Up. You get the opportunity to choose the week's topic and the co-host. The code should be attainable and knowledgeable on the subjects. 26 spots available. $50 gets you the VIP co-host position. 3 spots available. $100 is make the Before It Was Cool podcast your own. You and a person of your choosing make an episode. You can even change the intro music and artwork, and you can edit or ask Tom to edit to your specifications. Go to patreon.com before IWC and you will get to our landing page. That's patreon.com before IWC. Please support us so that we can continue to provide you with quality content each and every week. Yeah, I forgot about Carrie and Christine.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, this man's...
Oh, he's done so much.
Oh,
I mean, then you've
he's
also got
so many.
What is it, 1308?
Yeah. Oh, 1408.
1408, sorry. You've also got The Shining.
And you got Misery.
Yeah, and that's my pick, Misery. They did a whole movie pretty much
that
based on
hobbling scene.
Oh, it's brutal. It's not as brutal as in the book.
Yeah.
Where it's done with an axe and a blowtorch. But Kathy Bates, I mean, fuck, she's just amazing. She's so good in that role. James Caan's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to try and deny his thing, but her acting chops in that movie are so good, and the fact that the whole movie is based pretty much in one room for the entire time.
Yeah.
That in itself is so huge.
Actually, yeah, I'll go along with you and I'll say Misery.
Yeah.
It's the only one of these films that has had an outlasting memory implanted in my mind.
The hobbling scene?
Yeah.
See,
and if you don't know what we're talking about, it's on YouTube.
Yeah,
look it up.
Just watch the whole movie. It's
Hobbling
great.
Misery. Misery. Yeah,
but
not good.
Tom, but it's still really good too.
Oh yeah.
But,
it's great.
So Tom,
to
wait,
watch,
so you're saying it hasn't got a moment that's etched in your brain, but you're saying that it's got a moment that's etched in your brain so well, but like, here's Johnny, isn't? From The Shining?
Oh yeah, and the the him with the bat scene where he's walking up the stairs. She's
Like,
going up backwards.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
fuck
bash
me.
your brains in.
Give me the bat.
Then you just think of the Simpsons
Oh,
version
God.
as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Give me the bat, Marge. Oh,
no beer and
God.
no Truly make Homer go something. Make Homer something something. Go crazy.
Go insane.
Don't mind if I do. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
Sorry,
yeah,
just another horror movie, but horror musical for the previous eras. That two of them that didn't actually, I forgot to bring up. One being Little Shop of Horrors, because that has a very much a horror element.
The original more so.
The original.
The Jack Nicholson version.
Oh, the other one,
the
the
60s.
Rick Moranis version is so. Oh, no, sorry. The Jack Nicholson one is more horror. The musical one with Rick Moranis is just better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm
But
not going
then
to disagree on that one.
I was going to also include Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
But that in itself is more.
So I classify that more as musical, but that was still
musical
horror.
comedy with it, and it's spoofed horror. It was more like scary movie sort of things, except good. But yeah, so you're gonna go with Misery still?
Yeah, I stick with Misery.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. I put Shining very much up there. I actually really liked the remake of Carrie. I thought it was great.
Yeah, well, there were two remakes.
Yeah, I'm talking the one with Chloe Grace Moretz. I think that's her name.
The most recent one.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I didn't mind any of the three Carries, but
Chloe Grace Moretz.
They
sorry.
were better.
Yeah,
they were better in the Carrie series, in the Stephen King adaptation.
Yeah,
I'm very close to putting Silence of the Lambs, fucking Salem's Lot up there. Very close, but I'm just gonna stick with Misery.
Yeah, Misery's just so good.
Yeah.
I've already said its praises. I don't need to say it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
if you haven't, go watch it.
And it's good we're not talking about like Maximum Overdrive, which is just awful.
I think that was the only one that he directed himself.
There was a couple, I think, in the grand scheme of things, but that was one of the main ones. And yeah, it was bad.
It was the only feature film that he directed himself. I think he had a hand in the Shining remake, the made-for-TV version.
Because he hated the Kubrick version.
Yeah, he fucking despised it.
Yeah. Though that being said, one good thing about Maximum Overdrive, the soundtrack.
Yeah, true.
You know, who's the soundtrack? Do you know?
For Maximum Overdrive, it was fucking fuck you. The name's on my tongue. Oh, fuck me.
Really? You're a terrible Australian rock musician enjoyer if you can't get this.
Yeah, the name's right onto my tongue and I can hear the music in my head.
It's AC/DC. The album.
It is too.
The album Who Made Who.
I was about to say Cold Chisel, but that was wrong.
No, Who Made Who? The album was made as a soundtrack for Maximum Overdrive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fuck, how did I not?
Yeah,
well, I knew them.
You're bad, and you should.
But I was gonna say Cold Chisel.
No, so yeah, it was interesting when they did it. It says so they had Who Made Who, the actual song on there. Like these are the ones that were new songs for it. There was Who Made Who, Chase the Ace, and DT. Chase the Ace and DT were both instrumentals.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're solid too. They're great, and it's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
But it's But yeah, otherwise it's just like Who Made Who, You Shook Me All Night Long, Sink the Pink from Fly on the Wall, Ride On from Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap, Hell's Bells from Back in Black, Shake Your Foundation from Fly on the Wall, and For Those About to Rock We Salute You from For Those About to Rock We Salute You. And yeah, it's great. It's a fantastic album just for a really shit movie. It's like the Queen of the Damned soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like the Queen of the Damned soundtrack, amazing. The movie, yeah, don't talk about it.
Do you know Queen of the Damned is the sequel?
Yeah, the first is Interview with the Vampire.
Yes. Not many people know that.
Yeah, it's part of it's all Anne Rice stuff.
They think it's an anthology film as well, but no, it's a direct sequel.
Yeah, just Tom Cruise didn't want to come back for it.
Yeah, Tom Cruise didn't want to come back for it, plus he was too old to do the role.
Really? Tom Cruise barely ages, though, to be honest.
Have you seen him recently?
Well, COVID took a lot out of everyone, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, he's packed on a little bit of weight. Everybody's like, oh my god. I'm like, no, his next film is literally going to be in space. He's flying a rocket into space to make his next movie. He's packing on the beef because he's got to do that.
I was going to say, I was just
in training.
After hearing you say that, I was just like, oh no, he's going to be in the next Fast and Furious movie, isn't he?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so what do you think's the most overrated horror movie?
Overrated horror movie.
Or horror movie franchise.
I'm gonna cop some shit for this, but I'm gonna say Friday the 13th.
Okay.
It's got some gems in it. Don't get me wrong, some gems, but it's also got Jason X.
Yeah.
And Jason goes to New York and all this shit. It's got some gems, but it's touted as one of the greatest horror franchises of all time. That or the Silence of the Lambs series.
Ooh, what? See, like I love Red Dragon. Hannibal Rising.
No, was trying to get a rise out of you. I don't believe that it's overrated at all.
I don't know. Hannibal was fucking awful. Like the final movie, Hannibal was awful. Like Hannibal Rising was okay. Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs were amazing, and then the series, the Hannibal series, was with Mads Mikkelsen, was just beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
The entire series.
I do get where you're coming from. I'd actually say Hostel.
Yeah. So I didn't include the torture porn series in.
They're worth including because like the first Saw was great. It was well done. It was, but then there's like, okay, how can we do this bigger and better and more over the top? And it just became a pissing competition with with the previous one. And
yeah, true.
Yeah. Like I do get.
Although Spiral is I watched it the other day, and it's very good.
Yeah, that's the next one in the Saw series, isn't it?
Yeah, Chris Rock bought the series, or he actually in real life bought the series, and Spiral is the new continuation of the Saw series, and it is actually pretty good. Although they have some continuity errors in there. Like, it can't be Jigsaw. Jigsaw doesn't target police. Huh? He literally has targeted police from the first movie to the 8th movie in the franchise. Like, he specifically targets police.
Like, one thing I want to know is, what is it with African American comedians and doing stuff with horror recently?
Well, Jordan Peele actually said in an interview, and like, I'm not, I hope I don't come across as an ignorant racist here, but he said it's because most of us grew up in low socio-economic areas. We either had the VHS rip-offs of the Japanese overdubbed with English martial art films, like that's what created the Wu-Tang Clan, pretty much.
Yeah.
Their love over those type of films, or they had the bootleg version of the horror films, and that's what they all grew up on in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And now that's what they're all making now.
Because it's what they loved as a
Pretty
kid, and it's
much.
the whole nostalgia recreation.
Exactly. And Jordan Peele and Chris Rock have pretty much proved that they're the best at it because they know the subject matter.
Yeah, they know enough to do it, but also enough to make new stuff with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about overrated. So who's your favorite slasher?
No, who's your favorite overrated? Who?
I said Hostel.
Sorry, not favorite overrated, but yeah, who do you think is overrated?
Hostel.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what got us on Torch Pond.
Mm.
Favorite slasher?
Not just slasher. Sorry, favorite villain. Favorite horror villain.
Villain. Oh shit. I'm either gonna have to go. No, yeah, for villain, I'm going to go Freddy Krueger.
Krueger's great. He did become a lot more jokey as the series went on.
He did, but he never had to get rebooted or Oh, he did get remade, but it was a shit remake.
Yeah.
But he never had to get rebooted, as in, like, all the films after this point don't count.
Yeah.
As in, like, Halloween.
Well, Halloween's got like 3 different timelines now.
Yeah, but everything from Halloween 1 after to Halloween that came out a few years ago were deleted from the timeline. They restarted. And Friday the 13th has had to do that. Chucky had to do that.
No, Chucky hasn't done that.
Sorry, he just got remade to the only good horror remake that it has been. Although...
Well, no, it wasn't remade because it's so different. Like, it's... The only similarity is that...
It's more of a reboot. Actually, yeah, it would be a reboot because
I'd be more inclined
the
to call
original character turns up.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's more of a reimagining because it's redone to such an nth degree. Like, they've taken out all the voodoo elements. It's just an AI that goes wrong.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Yeah.
Like, it's almost... Yeah. It could almost more go into, like, your, like, as a Terminator sequel when you really think about it.
Actually, yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, probably Freddy. I'll have to go Freddy.
Freddy's great. Like, he's a fantastic character. And unlike so many other slasher villains, he had personality. Like, Michael Myers, like, don't get me wrong, intimidating as shit. But what can you tell me about him?
Exactly.
So
quite a bit if you watch the Rob Zombie remake.
Oh yeah, but they
went too far into it.
They make him cry. Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
He's supposed to be an unfeeling monster, and that's his appeal. You can't give him too much more, in my opinion. But
exactly.
But
so what about you?
Oh, Chucky. Charles Lee Ray,
Chucky.
I mean, Brad Dourif is a god. He's amazing. He's so good. Like, don't get me wrong, Seed and Bride was funny. Seed was pretty bad, but then the newer ones, so Cult of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, those ones are really, really good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
Does he play him in the Child's Play remake?
The Child's Play remake? What, the one with the AI? No, that's Mark Hamill.
Oh, it is too.
Yeah, it's Luke Skywalker, man.
I love that dude.
Oh, Mark Hamill, he's great. But they're also doing a Chucky series with Brad Dourif, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah. That's why WWE is pushing Chucky so hard at the moment.
Well, that and the fact that they have the son of someone who feuded with Chucky previously.
Yeah, exactly. No, but Chucky is coming out on the USA Network in America and most of WWE's programming, if not all of it, is on the USA network.
Or Fox, isn't it? That's the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But NXT and Raw are both USA.
Yeah. And then the flagships at the moment, like SmackDown's good, well, better than Raw, but yeah, they're not the big ones. It's not the big
I
one.
know they're earning more money than Raw at the moment. Because the deal they signed with Fox.
Oh, fair enough. Tell you what, though, they actually no, we're not going to talk about wrestling. We're talking horror here. Um, okay, so
No tangent.
okay, so first horror movie that scared you, even if it was just as a kid.
That scared me. I was Friday the 13th. Not Friday the 13th, fucking Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
First horror movie that didn't scare me was Friday the 13th. But, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. It scared the living shit out of me. Didn't give me nightmares. Surprisingly, later was the. I'll reveal it later on, but it came almost 10 years later. First film that gave me nightmares, but yeah. First one to scare the living shit out of me was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Cool. The first one for me, and
But yeah.
a lot of people wouldn't even consider it a horror movie, and I'm not gonna argue that, but I will say it's always got horror elements, despite it being more of a comedy. So it was Ghostbusters 2. Uh,
Which part?
I was petrified of Slimer.
Really?
Yeah, so I saw it when I was in 1995. So I was in year one, so I was about 6 or 7 or 8, and yeah, Slimer scared like for years. I'm talking like I was having nightmares about him until I was like 12 or something.
Shit.
Yeah, like as a
Wow.
kid, I did not like horror. Anything horror, even things that weren't supposed to scare you, scared me. Now as an adult, like I love it. I think it's really enjoyable. But yeah, as a kid, nah, don't want any fucking thing to do with it.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's yeah, that's an interesting one.
hmm,
Like, cause like if the Ghostbusters series was gonna scare me as a kid, it would have been the first one with
with the
the
dog,
dogs. But
yeah,
yeah,
Zool. Um,
that would have been scary. That pretty much was scary for a Ghostbusters movie.
yeah,
But yeah, Slimer.
yeah. I was a little pussy.
Wow.
Um, yeah, that petrified me. The thing is, I was so afraid of things. Even pictures of Chucky scared me. But then
Actually,
again, just
yeah,
the whole thing of a doll coming to life was fucking petrifying for me. I love Toy Story, don't get me
yeah.
wrong, but yeah, the whole idea of a toy
Only
coming to
Toy
life,
Story could make it sound good.
like yeah, like this is an example of how scared I was as a kid. I used to have nightmares about Cookie Monster, but it was only Cookie
Wow.
Monster in certain things, and I used to have nightmares about Aggro, but
Shit.
I'd still watch the motherfuckers.
Well,
Um,
one of your best jokes comes from Sesame Street.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I wouldn't say it's one of the best. I haven't done that joke on stage since then. I don't. Oh no, no, I don't think I've even done it on stage since then.
Since the competition.
Yeah, yeah. I just haven't done it again. So,
Shit.
I have been considering it. Because I've been doing a couple more impressions in my jokes.
Yeah.
That I've been writing. So yeah, I do need to bring it back because I do love that joke. It's just I haven't been able to come up with a good follow up to it. To keep it going as if it's like an ongoing thing. It's a one and done joke, and it's kind of hard to segue in. Because I like a bit of flow in my routine these days. But
Could have it as one of those jokes in between the long jokes.
but it itself is a relatively long joke, especially when you've only got a 5 minute set.
Yeah, true.
Don't get me wrong, I love it, and I will happily bring it back at some point. But
Just
yeah,
gotta figure out how to.
yeah, and make it seem organic and real. But one day, one day. Um,
One day.
yeah. So
So, what's the next one?
well, it was about the nightmare sort of thing. What gave you nightmares? And I've kind of already brought mine up
Oh,
by talking about what I did.
mine was a surprising one because it is not scary at all. I watched it in '97, and when I was watching, I was like, "This is not scary at all." But it gave me fucking nightmares for months and months on end. I know what you did last summer.
Okay, fair enough. Like, I shouldn't laugh considering my reveal of like, oh, fucking Slimer made me shit myself. Like, it was like I
No,
can't
but
judge
that
anyone right
scene
now.
where he drops the hook and he's walking across the park trying to kill Buffy, or Sarah Michelle Gellar,
Hmm.
but he's trying to kill her. That just kept replaying over and over in my mind and gave me nightmares for weeks. And I was like, what the fuck? The movie's not even fucking scary. I can still watch the movie at that time and today and be like, this is the world's shittest fucking slasher movie I've ever seen. Why they remade it into a TV series, I don't know, because it wasn't good then. But it
I
gave
don't
me
think it was ever
fucking
supposed to be good.
nightmares.
I don't think it was ever supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Like,
Although it spawned 2 sequels,
I think so, yeah. Um,
and one of them doesn't even have the original cast.
yeah, something like that. I can't really remember. Um, okay,
Yeah.
so here's another question I've got to add to all this, and that's your favorite hero in a series. So they don't have like I'm gonna say they have to be in at least two movies. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, so who would be your favorite hero in a horror series?
Ah, I used to love Randy from Scream.
Hmm.
He played by Jamie Kennedy. He was just funny, and I could relate to him. The movie nerd that knew everything
Yeah,
about movies. Um, there's Laurie, like from
Laurie
Halloween.
Strode. Yeah,
Yeah,
Doctor
like
Loomis
Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah, Dr. Loomis.
by Donald Pleasance,
Uh,
who's great.
we've also got Sydney Prescott from the Scream series.
You've got Nancy as
Uh,
well in the Friday series.
yeah, Friday the 13th.
Not Friday the 13th.
Sure.
Not Friday. Nightmare on Elm
Yeah,
Street. Sorry.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I was gonna say Friday's the one with Ice Cube.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I was meaning Friday the 13th series there. You knew what I meant.
yeah,
Are you going to include Ripley?
you got Ripley. Although I would only call one of the Alien series a horror movie.
See, I'd say two has definite
Still,
horror elements. But yeah, I do get where you're coming from.
yeah.
Um,
That's kind of a hard question. I think, you know, fuck. Problem is, I'm thinking of one, but she wasn't in all the films, and I'm thinking of another, and she was in all the films, and she was a boss in all of them. And I'm thinking of another that in all
well,
the
just
ones
say
that are
what they are.
counted.
Say what they are, motherfucker.
I'm thinking of Jamie Lee Curtis because she was in all of them that are counted, and the ones that I counted, she was in the only good ones.
What H2O?
In Halloween, yeah, H2O. That's about the only good one from that era. Uh,
Isn't that the
and
one where
I'm
Buster
also
Rhymes
thinking of
kicks Michael Myers?
that was brilliant.
No, it wasn't.
It was in the worst kind of way.
Deliciously bad. Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah. Oh god, I would pay over and over again to watch Buster Rhymes win.
Fuck. You're a bad man, and you should feel bad.
I do a little bit. But you've also got Sydney Prescott. And fuck it, I'll go Sydney.
Okay.
She's she's been the final girl in 4 films, a fifth coming out. She's a boss, pretty much.
See, I'm gonna have to go Donald Pleasance in what's his name in Halloween. Like, just a really cool character. Just he's pretty much the new Van Helsing from the classic Draculas. He's great.
Yeah, true.
So Dr. Loomis for those who weren't sure. So I'll tell you what, one horror movie
Yeah.
we didn't bring up, admittedly, from what I've been told, because I haven't seen them, only the first one's good, and then the rest are just bad. Is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yeah, and that's getting a
Not another.
storyline reboot.
Um,
So the first one is still canon, but everything after that is
actually,
not.
oh sorry, I've got to quickly just jump in. Change my thing. It's not Donald Pleasance. My favorite hero in a series of movies is Ash.
Oh fuck! I didn't even think of the Evil Dead.
Well, we talked about him before, but Ash is just a boss. Like,
He is.
and did you actually see the series, Ash versus the Evil Dead?
Yes.
Fuck, it was good. I loved it.
What kind of a question is that?
I like the
Yes.
whole. I love the puppet as well. Like
And the fact that it caught up to the Army of the Dead or Army of Darkness or whatever you want to call it. And then the series ended. I was like, oh, you cunts.
Well, didn't really go into Army of Darkness. Oh yeah, because of him going through the future. Yep. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Right at the end of Army of Darkness, he sleeps right throughout time. He wakes up in the future. And at the end of Ash versus the Evil Dead, he wakes up in the future. And then the show got cancelled.
And sadly,
like, you cunts.
Bruce Campbell has also apparently retired the character.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh damn it! And Sam Raimi is kind of done with the Evil Dead series.
Yeah, and like I get it, they don't want to just do it to death, but it's so good. Though
And the remake wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't as good. It would
I haven't
never
actually
be
seen the
as
remake. I've
good,
seen the
but
other
it
things, but I
wasn't
haven't seen the
that
remake.
bad.
I haven't seen the remake yet.
It's pretty good. It's not to the extent that the good one, the original is,
Yeah.
but it's pretty good. It holds up.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that.
It's a good watch. It's not, yeah, easy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've talked our talk, and well, I've walked our walk. You've rolled your roll, and I've shook my shake.
Oh god.
That definitely.
If you don't, if people don't give us lollies tonight, we will haunt your dreams forever. Halloween.
Wow, that kind of came out of nowhere. I was just gonna know.
It's the Halloween special, so I've got to give them something freaky.
They want something freaky. They want something freaky. We should just put the picture for at the end of this. We should just have a sudden burst of a picture, and it's just us in mankinis or something.
If only that were possible.
Why is it not possible? I've got two. I'll send you one.
No, I mean to put an image at the end of an audio recording.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yes, that is the end of the show. Go to our YouTube channel. Search Before It Was Cool on YouTube. It will come up.
Don't worry. There's
like, share, and subscribe. What was that?
There's nothing of us in mankinis on YouTube. Don't worry, people.
No, there's not yet. Anyway, but like, share, subscribe, comment on all the videos. They're all good. At the moment, Jay's top 10 ridiculous theories in the potential of a flat Earth. I can't remember the full name.
Something like that. But either way, it's just that.
Yeah.
That top 10 was painful.
Oh, dude, I'm still struggling to write mine.
Yeah, I know. You should give me another one.
It's not coming this week.
Give me another one to do sometime. Give me something fun.
I will.
Well, if you want to stay with the horror
I'm gonna get back at you.
If we want to stay with a horror theme, I could do top 10 horror villains. It's a simple one. It's fun. I'm not gonna hate it.
Yeah, go for it. Go for your life. I won't mind making that one. If in case you don't realize, on the current video, there are no copyright images at the bottom because I didn't want to give these fucking idiots anything to any kind of recognition for the theories or their photos, and two, I didn't want to associate anyone with those fucking morons.
Yeah, with the flat Earth theory, it's yeah. Yeah, I
But
don't want to talk about it.
yeah,
I'm still traumatized.
follow us on
The
Twitter
motherfuckers don't
at
even believe in
before
dinosaurs.
IWC
They don't believe in
the vagina.
dinosaurs.
God, I still hate that.
They
Did you
don't.
see what I did on that bit underneath your voice?
Do you
When
really
you went, don't believe in dinosaurs, I put broken glass under each word.
just cunt was fucked.
Make it
Um,
more impactful.
yeah, I don't
But
want to talk.
yeah.
I don't want to talk about it no more.
We still want to hear from all of our listeners, all of our hi Damo, one listener. Stories about what got you into anything in pop culture. I'm changing a little bit from last week. Pretty much just email us a voice clip at before IWC at gmail.com, and I will edit it and put it in the show.
Yeah, like we want to hear back from you guys. Like, not just feedback saying how great we are and how you guys want a
We
sex.
are.
Yeah, we know that. And how everyone wants a sex tape between us. And like, to be honest, that could come out at some point if the money is right.
It's been recorded, but
Yeah.
we haven't publicized it yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's surprising to say the least. But yeah, like we want to hear back from you guys. Like things you like, things you want us to do again, like other topics you want us to go over, ideas you have for us to go over, challenges and ideas for top tens to make me swear at the recording in the microphone. Like
Make
seriously,
my
like
job
it's
10 times
fun.
as
It's
hard.
really fun for us. Like we love this podcast because it's just two mates talking about stuff that we love and both share. Hearing from other
Yeah.
people and adding to it just makes it even more fun for us. So yeah, if you've got something you want to say or something you want to add or just any ideas or just want to tell us how much you enjoy listening to us while you're masturbating, go for it. We would love to hear that. Not hearing the masturbating itself though, it is flattering. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. We want to connect with the people that are listening to us, whether you're a fan or not. We just want to connect with you in a non-sexual way. For me, anyway.
yeah. I was gonna say you're speaking for yourself there, mate.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, guys, you want
Yeah.
to say goodbye? You want to sign in?
Patreon.com
Yes.
/ before IWC. Support the podcast right now. It's only set up for the podcast. I'll figure out what to do with the YouTube channel later. Facebook.com / before IWC. If you want to follow my personal Twitter, it's at Tom _ Dom 89. Jay doesn't have one because he's not one of the cool kids.
No, I do have a Twitter. I just
Do
never
you?
used it. No, I haven't used it in yonks.
Okay.
If I start doing stand-up gigs again, I'll probably start bringing it back. But at the moment, yeah, my Twitter's just dead. I use my Twitter
Yeah.
to look up amateur porn stars. That's really about it.
Fair enough.
It's gross.
But yeah, that's pretty much all the plugging shit that I've got to do.
Yeah.
I think.
Anyway.
You don't have an Instagram. We don't have any TikTok. I'm just thinking to myself, we don't have Twitch.
No.
Yeah, that's everything.
We don't have
And
MySpace,
by
we
the
don't
way,
have Bebo.
ladies and gentlemen, what is pinpoint? I still don't know.
I think it's a point
I
that's
came
being
up with-
pinned.
Exactly. I came up with the motherfucking concept. I still have no idea what it is.
Isn't that you just trying to get through life?
Yeah, could be it. Docu-series about a day in the life of a cripple. Why did I say that so aggressively?
Yeah, I know. That's the most angry sounding fish I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Tom, fuck off. Bye.
See ya.